Hi guys, it's Faith, and today I'm going to be doing a video kind of about my relationship. My boyfriend was kind of disappointed that I didn't really mention him in my last video, so I decided to do a video kind of about him and about us. So I have a few questions that I'm going to answer just generally about our relationship and about him. Some people might not find this video very interesting, but I mostly do my videos for myself and for people that are interested, so we've been together for 2 years and a month. Originally, he doesn't really count it, but we originally met at a weekly church youth group in middle school, and I didn't really talk to him, or I didn't even really know his name at first, but I saw him around town and I knew him from school. He went to my school for about a month or two, and yeah, I kind of knew him around town, but I didn't really know much about him at all. And I actually used to think he was one of my close friends, like brothers or cousins or something. And then I later found out that they are not related and that they're just kind of friends. But later, officially, we met actually on Match, the dating site, and neither of us paid for the app, so he found me on Facebook and we started talking instantly, and it was the closest, first instant connection I've ever had with someone, and now it's been 2 years, so. I think our first date was going to the movies. We saw Ready Player One. It was with my mom and my sister, but he wanted to go. I asked my mom if he could go with us, and we kind of sat separately, and yeah, it was our first date. He had already seen it, but he wanted to see it again with me. Kind of surprisingly, he actually did. I feel like I was in love first, but it's always been hard for me to say I love you to people because I've said it to so many people and haven't meant it, and it's just kind of hard. It's not hard for me to say it anymore, but it was definitely hard for me to say it at first. Not because I didn't mean it, but because it was a hard thing for me to say to someone and actually mean it, because it's always been something that I haven't really meant to people when I said it. So, but he's the first person that I've actually really meant it with. We've actually been living together kind of off and on for almost 2 years now, actually. And he used to stay at my house for like a week at a time, and then I'd stay at his house, and then eventually I kind of not really ran away because my parents knew where I was, but I just packed up some stuff and started staying at his house, and then we later moved into his friend's house, which was ridiculous. It was a house of 8 people, including the two of us, and that lasted about 4 months, and now we've been living at my mom's house for like a year and a half-ish, maybe more or less, but yeah, so it's been almost 2 years that we've been living together. Technically, I think it was about 3 or 4 hours north to a D&D convention that we went to with our D&D group that we have, but that was only like 3 or 4 hours, like I said. But a real road trip kind of so far is going to Disneyland with my mom and my sister in December 2018, and that was about 10 to 12 hours or so. So tons of traffic because it was around Christmas time, and traffic's not fun. He's a bit older by about 7 months, I think. Maybe like a couple days short, but about 7 months. He has 2 siblings and I have one, so his are older. He's the youngest and I'm the oldest in my family. Well, actually drive because it makes me extremely anxious. I know how to drive, but I can't really drive because it makes me so anxious that I break down crying every time I sit in the driver's seat. So yeah, he's definitely a better driver. He's actually confident in his driving and drives me pretty much everywhere I need to go. So, well, it kind of depends on what we're cooking. I do better with like meats, like pork chop and chicken, and he does like, you know, fried potatoes and more breakfast stuff. But I do more dinner stuff, and he does breakfast stuff usually. Honestly, him. um, my family's really strict and actually, you know, just normal, I guess. And his, you know, are not normal. Not in a bad way, but you know, I love them, but a little bit strange. Definitely me. I mean, I have bipolar disorder, so it's literally the definition of moodiness. Um, so yeah, my mood changes in like, you know, every 2 minutes, depending on how my day's going. I'm not that funny. Um, I I don't know any jokes, or it's hard for me to joke about stuff if it's not either dirty or dark humor. Um, he he's just naturally funny. Definitely him because of his job. He's a security guard at a hospital right now, and has been for a few months, and crazy shit happens at that hospital all the time. There's always lockdowns, and it's, I mean, not always, but often enough to be a little bit scared and kind of worried about people that work there. Possibly within like 1 to 5 years. Definitely not this year. It's too early, but um, I think either next year, the year after, or within 5 years, I think would be a decent time. Kind of a funny story, actually. I've always vowed to never have kids. I've never really liked anyone enough, and I've never been interested in having kids. I don't really like children or people in general very much. But for some reason, when I met him, I mean, not instantly, but within a few months of meeting him, um, I don't know, my outlook on having a family kind of changed. And I mean, definitely, I would not right now, but you know, eventually, possibly. Um, and how many? Um, one to maybe three, I'd say. Three maximum. But I'm mostly scared of the pain and responsibility and fluids from babies. So that's not going to be fun if that eventually happens. But later in life, I'm sure it'll be better. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii for like a honeymoon or something. My parents got married in Hawaii, but I've also been to Hawaii in 2018. But um, I really want to go with my boyfriend, whether that's just, you know, a regular, you know, vacation, um, or a honeymoon, or both. Um, either way, it would be really fun. The first one was definitely Disneyland. It was his first time going to Disneyland, or really almost any amusement park, and it was really fun. And you know, we went with my mom and my sister, and um, I went on a bunch of rides that I've never been on before, actually, because I've been to Disneyland quite a few times as a kid and stuff. And yeah, it was really fun being able to go with him and have it be his first time going, and The lines were ridiculous as expected, but it was really fun. And we stayed literally from opening to closing, almost closing, and it was fun. We also went to the last Warped Tour ever, supposedly, last year, and we got to meet one of my favorite bands, and he had actually already met them at Warped Tour in 2016, I think, but I got to meet them, and I have their autographs and stuff, and just being so close to the stage and stuff. We were literally front row, like right on the barricade, and like all day, and it was really fun. Just seeing a bunch of bands, right there in front of you is really, really cool. So that was a great thing we got to share together. And also we went to Aftershock Festival last year, which was kind of a similar deal as Warped Tour, but it's more like metal bands and harder rock, I guess. And we kind of got split up a little more. We went with one of our D&D friends, and we did get split up a lot, but there were multiple stages and stuff, and a bunch of different bands playing, and I got to see a bunch of my favorite bands. I saw Blink-182, Hailstorm, Slipknot was there. Yeah, just a lot of bands. A Day to Remember, Bring Me the Horizon. Yeah, a lot of good bands go to those kinds of shows. So that was really fun that we got to spend together. Of course, I mean, I fantasize about it all the time, and I probably think about it a little too much, but I just feel like if I mentally prepare for it, that it'll be a little better than just going with the flow of everything. When he first added me on Facebook, and I got the notification, I looked at his profile and everything, and his profile picture was like one of the most emo selfies I've ever seen, and I instantly got excited and was like, there's another emo kid in my town? Like, I thought I was the only one around, really. I mean, my town is really small, like 5 to 10,000 people, and I just got really excited that there was this emo kid who added me on Facebook, like, and then he started texting me instantly as soon as I added him back, and yeah, but physically, besides just the emo factor that I noticed, was definitely his eyes. He has like the prettiest blue-green eyes I've ever seen, honestly, and in the selfies he took, that was pretty much all you could really see. Just, he did the, classic emo kind of thing, so I could really only see his eyes, and yeah, anyway, I love his eyes. We started dating on April 8th, 2018, and yeah, so we've been together for 2 years now. We kind of have a couple song. He used to play Lovely by 21 Pilots a lot, like on repeat, while we took naps and stuff for a couple days, and we just decided that that would be our song, which I know a lot of people in the Skeleton Clique, which is 21 Pilots fans, have that as a couple song, so it's not super original, but we weren't intending on copying people. It was just, we really love that song, and we really relate to that song as a couple, and I really love it, so. All the time. So when he was younger, he used to have this purple hoodie, or a couple of them, I guess, and that's kind of how I knew him, was from his purple jacket that he had, and about a year or two ago, I got this purple hoodie at like Walmart or something, and it was supposed to be my jacket, but he took it, and now he wears it all the time, and we kind of just accepted that it's his now. But he also wears my shirts all the time. He's kind of the girlfriend in the relationship in a lot of ways. He takes my clothes instead of me wearing his clothes. So, I mean, I've worn like a couple of his shirts once or twice, but he mostly takes my clothes. Just a lot of ways, honestly. Like, I just remember being so closed off from people and cold and kind of heartless to people, and I still am a little bit, but he's made me more loving and caring about people and myself. I used to absolutely hate myself, and I don't love myself necessarily, but I've become a little more confident in myself, and since we've been dating, I've been doing YouTube, and he's made me confident enough in myself to be able to do things like YouTube and make videos and even just take selfies, which I have never really done because I just don't like myself. I don't really like my appearance that much and everything, and he's definitely made me more confident in myself, and he's helping me with my mental health as much as a partner can and is willing to, which isn't his job, but it definitely helps me having someone support me like that, and want me to get help, and just be there for me and love me and appreciate the things that I do. So I do feel like I've become at least slightly a better person, and it's helping me continue to become a better person as the relationship goes on. So that's the end of the questions, and sorry if it wasn't that interesting. I'm trying to produce more content that people would like, but if you have any video ideas or recommendations or suggestions for me, comment or message me on social media or any of those things. So thank you for watching, and bye.